Good evening, roommates. Come on in, come on in. Come on in, y'all. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Y'all see I got a new situation. I got come on in, come on. Okay. I got a new situation, y'all. Come on in. Hey, Brown Fox. Thank you for my wonderful gift of a microphone. Brown Fox then gifted me with this wonderful microphone, guys, for my birthday. Can y'all hear me? Good evening. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. All right, let me get this pillow from behind me and use it. Hey, y'all. Come on in. Hey, Facebook. I can't see the comments, but let me know if you can hear me. Same for Instagram. Let me know. Oh, yeah. You sound good. Thank you, Instagram. Thank you, thank you. What about Facebook? Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Let me know. I need your assistance. Can you hear me? How exciting is it with these new mics? I'm excited, y'all. I actually have two for when I have guests. And so, yeah, it's exciting. Come on in. Instagram has already confirmed that they can hear me. And now I think Facebook, hey, Auntie, how are you? I think I have a thumbs up on Facebook too. All right, we cooking with hot grease. Wonderful. All right. It is Thursday, and y'all know I'm typically on here with y'all on Wednesdays, and I have got to tell you, God is blessing me in such a way where I have, quite a bit going on, and I can't complain because these are the very things that I've prayed for, right? And so yesterday I was just mentally exhausted. And when I come to you all, roommates, I want to be able to bring my A game. I want to be relaxed. I want to be in the best of spirits. And so yesterday I needed to rest. And so, but I wasn't going to forget about you all week. And so here we are on this wonderful, gloomy, cold Thursday evening. So welcome. And I was telling you guys that I have a new setup. I had talked about this with you all too, just saying that I wanted to get me some mics, like the real podcast mics. And there was no reason I had not gotten them for myself, other than God was going to bless me with these mics through my very best friend. And so, Brown Fox, thank you, girl. I appreciate you. And tonight is going to be a treat because I am witnessing so many people, whether it's via social media or whether it is in person, where people are really kind of going through in their own ways, because all of us do go through and all of us have our own set of circumstances and our own set of situations, right? And nothing is going to be identical, right? And I am here tonight to encourage you guys. I just really want to remind everyone that though things seem like they may be working against you and not in your favor, right? That if you just listen to the cues, be patient, wait on the outcome, whatever it is that it's going to be, you will really recognize that things are not working against you, but yet they are working for the better good for you, right? Someone told me a while back, and it was actually a mentor of mine, and told me that, you know, Tamika, things don't happen to you, things happen for you. And so through the midst of the storms, through the midst of just not having full clarity, not understanding where life is going to take you, just stay fervent in your prayers and believing that whatever your vision is for your life, it shall come to pass, right? And so today's episode is just really to confirm for you, and to, well, hopefully God will send you some confirmations through me, but to remind you that the setbacks that you've endured is actually a setup for what you are hoping for, wishing for, and praying for in your lives. Okay, roommates? And so without further ado, you know, we're going to always kick it off with a Bible verse. And so I'm going to take us to Genesis 50 and 20. And it reminds us that they intended to harm you, but God intended it for your good. So when people try to hurt you, God still gets the final say so. So don't grow weary. Don't throw in a towel and think that because things around you seem to be crumbling down, that's just the way things are going to be forever, because that is not the case. That is certainly not the case. And I need for you guys to keep your head up during the midst of any storm or anything that just doesn't feel favorable and it doesn't feel good to be going through. Okay? And so I'm going to give us an opening statement tonight. I usually don't do that. I usually give us a closing statement. But I'm going to give us an opening statement because I do want you guys to understand that you're going through, but you're going to get to whatever it is that you've set your mind and your heart to. Okay, roommates? Cool. So our opening statements goes a little something like this. Sometimes the very thing you think is blocking your blessing is actually building your blessing. Closed doors? Okay. Delays? They'll happen. Betrayals? Been there, done that. They all feel like setbacks. But I want to remind you, roommates, that they're often setups for what's great and greater to come. Okay? And so we're going to talk about resistance being a redirection of sorts. So, and how God uses the against part, where it seems like things are against you, to bring out the best in what is for you. All right? And so I want us to really think about a few key things, right? And let me make sure I can see y'all comments. I do see hearts and stuff coming through, and which I'm appreciative of. Y'all know I appreciate. Yes, amen, amen. Okay, good. All right, and so let's we're gonna jump in. I'm gonna give us some key things that to really think about tonight, and for us to hang on to all of the hope that we have despite going through. All right, cool. Think about this. Think about the illusion of opposition, right? And so, you know, we're living in this new millennium and time and generation where we hear a lot about the ops, right? And so there's an illusion that comes with opposition. And you ask, what is that opposition, right? And you guys, please feel free to drop in the chat. What are illusions of, hey little sister, what are the illusion of opposition, right? Drop some of your thoughts in the chat. The illusion of opposition, all right? And I'll give you a few, and I'll wait to hear from you all as well. So not everything that feels and looks like an attack is actually an attack. You know, if you really believe in the word and the word of God and the things that happen in life, he tells us that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. So what he's telling us is that though the weapon will form, he instructs us that it will form, but he also soothes us by letting us know that those weapons shall not prosper. And so not everything that feels like an attack is actually an attack, roommates. We have to know and understand, and we hear that saying all the time, pick your battles. And that's what we have to do. We have to pick our battles and not victimize the situation, because there's some sort of lesson that is to be learned from the attacks that we fall under, for the things that doesn't seem to be aligned with our futures and with our visions. Though those things, we feel discouraged, and we feel that when we're under attack. I just want you guys to understand that not everything that feels like an attack is an actual attack, okay? Also, it's often that our elevation is disguised in some of these attacks. And what do I mean by that? I mean, for example, losing a job. Losing a job never, ever feels good. And I've been employed, roommates, literally since I was 15, 16 years old. And I remember the one time that I lost my job. And it was years ago. And I remember a friend of mine telling me, girl, you need to get out of that funk, and you need to send that person some flowers and thank them for what is about to happen in your life. And at the time, I thought this person was absolutely out of their mind. What do you mean, send this person some flowers and thank them for making my life miserable at this particular time? So, though the opposition comes in the form of losing jobs, doors not being open, you trying to figure out the purpose of your life, but it seems like attack after attack after attack is occurring, right? It is in those moments, roommates, that you have to sit back, pray, and be thankful for everything that you do have, and figure out the lessons that should be coming out of this situation, right? And so, though I had lost a job and I didn't know what was going to be next for me, I quickly realized that the next phase of my career became some of the most amazing part of my professional development, right? I got into the field of healthcare. I was not in the field of healthcare. I got the highest paying job at that time that I had ever had in my life. I got the opportunity to grieve my grandmother, because this was shortly after she passed away. I was off for 9 months, y'all. I was off work for 9 months. But I'll tell you this, I didn't miss a beat. I didn't miss a hairdo. I had people helping me from all facets of my life, from coworkers turned friends to family members to exes, right? God sent them all through to take care of me as I was in transition. So I'm just here to remind you that elevation sometimes is disguised in low esteem because of the things that has happened to you. It is often disguised in depression, because you can't make sense of what's happening for you. You think it's happening to you, right? And then that elevation of what comes next, only God knows what that is. And so with that being said, roommates, do not be discouraged. These things, these attacks, the opposition, which is really an illusion, because if God is for you, baby, can't nobody be against you. All right? And so opposition is an illusion. It's literally you against you, and you rolling and rocking with God, okay? Hey, Angel Homeman, I love you so much. Yes, I do. And so we ain't gonna get stuck there, right? And so the lesson is in every attack. You are absolutely right, Auntie Jackie. The lesson is in every attack. And so what you want to know and what you want to stay rooted and grounded in is, though it is happening, it is not happening to you, it is happening for you. Doors are opening. Opportunities are being presented. things that seem so grim and so far away and so unattainable and so unreachable, you will start to recognize that these things are closer in grasp than you can ever fathom. Okay? And so I want you, greetings, King. I want you all to understand that the opposition is an illusion. Okay? Wonderful. Now let's go on. Let's move on. And I see you all's comments. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so I want to talk about delay is not equivalent to denial. And you guys hear that all the time. A delay is not the denial of something, right? It's delayed for a multitude. Things that are delayed for you are delayed for your growth. How are you going to receive it? How are you going to take care of it? How are you going to preserve it for the greater good and not abuse it? Right? How are you going to not only attain it, but how are you going to maintain it and then eventually sustain it? Now, you know, people wonder about me, right? Like, dang, she does all of this stuff, or is she this, or is she, like, I'm everything that you guys see, right? I'm a social worker, I'm a therapist, I'm a fashion stylist, I'm a podcaster, I'm a mom, I'm a grandma. I'm all of these things. And so, roommates, I would say that to say this. Do not put yourself in a box. Do not put yourself in a box, because I'll tell you, I've been working extremely hard on all of these things. And I've been delayed in many areas of my path for my life. But suddenly, and God is all of a sudden type of God. Suddenly, you will start, doors will open for you. Doors are opening for me in every facet of my life. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful. But I'll tell you this. Write the vision and make it plain. But don't cower away from it when it becomes too much. And certainly do not complain. You know, people ask often, how are you doing? And we generally fake it, right? We fake the funk and we say, I'm good. I'm all right. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of times we're not okay. And it's okay to say, I'm not okay. Right? I had one of my roommates. She really one of my honorary house guests. House managers, I'm sorry. And she checked on me and she's like, hey, how you doing? Are you okay? And I said, you know what? I'm exhausted. And that was the truth, right? And I said, that's the reason I didn't do the podcast yesterday, because mentally I was a little drained. Physically, I needed some rest. And so we have to recognize and understand the cues and give ourselves that grace. We do not give ourselves enough grace. We're gracious to strangers. We're gracious to the neighbors, as we should be. But we're not gracious we don't grant ourselves the type of grace that we do to people outside of ourselves, roommates. And so, though things may be delayed, I just want you to know that they are not denied. So just because it isn't happening yet, it doesn't mean that it will not happen. Okay? Things that you want, the desires of your heart shall be granted. And that's Bible, right? And so delay, drop in the chat for me. Tell me, what are some things that delay can do for you? As you are figuring things out, as you are navigating your life and your situations, right? Navigating your circumstances. Lately, I've been seeing so many of my roommates just really in a place of just really being honest about Phoenix Hendricks. It's just, you know, just they're really getting their footing in what's happening around them and what's happening for them. And sometimes, again, these things cause depression. And I'm just here to stand in the gap with all of my roommates and to remind you all that though weeping may come during the night, joy comes in the morning. Keep your head up. Keep your faith. You are not defined by your circumstances. Everybody goes through something. Okay? But I asked you guys a moment ago about how could delay possibly be protecting you. And my girl, my honorary house manager, Tasha Mack, says we have to redirect our mindset so that we don't mishandle our blessings. Baby, how poetic is that? And roommates, somebody asked me about Rumor Has It platform recently and was like, what is the concept? And I said, you know what? It's group therapy. We come together, we discuss things that are of the matters of the heart, that are of the community, that are of things that people are enduring or are witnessing and experiencing within their own lives and within the lives of people around them. And what this platform is designed for is for us to be able to come together, debrief, debunk myths, have a safe space to have conversations and not be judged for enduring, right? Because all of us do just that. We all endure. And the thing is, we all endure differently, because what is going to work for me today in enduring is definitely not going to work. Like those things that how I coped and I endured even last year, even last month, is a different type of endurance today. Part of it is because I have to study myself to be approved, to sit, to come, to discuss God, to talk Bible, to come up with solutions and resolutions to life's woes that we all are or have experienced in some capacity or another. There's no secret the things that we go through. And it would be kind of shame on anybody to be trapped in those things that make you feel depressed, or trapped in those things that make you feel guilty when you're not okay. It's okay, roommates, not to be okay. And I really want you guys to take that to heart, because I'm not saying go sing it on a mountain. There's so many things that I've endured that I haven't talked about. But I'm going to talk about it eventually right here with y'all. And for those of you who know me, you know, I'm not ashamed. I've been through. But still I rise. And still I survive. Okay. And so Auntie Keisha is saying she definitely needs this. I'm definitely thankful to be used for you, Aunt. Okay. Delay may give you the opportunity to prepare yourself for what is coming. Let's not be foolish. If you are not going to handle what you're praying for with care, with sincerity, with everything as bad as you want it, to do everything that you need to keep it, other than sell your soul to the devil, baby. Don't do that. Okay? So sometimes we definitely have to take a back seat to what's happening, but yet take a front seat and observe what is happening around us and what is happening for us. Okay? Wonderful. I have some comments on Instagram. And so Brown Fox is saying that sometimes you think what you want is not what God has in his plans. We don't know. But what the Bible tells us is that lean not on our own understanding, yet acknowledge God in all thy ways, and he shall direct our paths. Plural, paths. That means that any path that you want to go down, you consult with, you write that vision, you make it plain. You know, faith without works is dead. And so you can have all the faith in the world or the size of a mustard seed. But here's the thing. If you do not work towards the things that your heart desire, you will not attain them. Nothing is dropping down out of the sky just happening for us anymore. We have to work for those things that we want. Okay? So to Jackie's point, you may be delayed right now simply because you're not prepared to receive the gift that you are looking for and the gift that God has in store for you. Because if you're going to misappropriate, if you're going to mishandle, listen, you ain't going to be granted it. It ain't going to become yours. Because you probably have the propensity, right, to mishandle it and not take care of it in a way where you're able to sustain it. Sustainability is over time. You can get it, but what are you going to do to keep it? And if you're not prepared to receive it and to keep it, you are going to be delayed, roommates. I'm here to tell you. I am here to tell you. But things are not happening to you. Things are happening for you. Okay, wonderful. You guys are cutting up, and I love it. And so let's keep it moving. Also, this was part of my notes. You are not being punished. You are being prepared for what is next for you. Okay? Wonderful. Let's move on to divine detours. And so for my Bible readers, honey, and even if you're not a Bible reader, and some people don't believe in the word because they say it's a man-made book and all of that good stuff, I am a Christian and I believe in the Bible, okay? And so I'll tell you this. It took me a long time to understand the Bible. It wasn't until I got introduced to the Message version or the Message Bible, which gives us the Bible in layman terms. So it takes out the thys, it takes out the difficult words and it replaces it with terms and words that is equivalent to the layman that can understand it at face value, right? And so there are two really prominent figures in the Bible, Joseph and David. And so these are two brothers from the Bible, and they are examples of people who were betrayed and also people who were detoured to their destiny, right? And so I'll give you a little bit about Joseph. Joseph was a dreamer. Literally, he could interpret dreams, right? And he would interpret these dreams, and he would tell his brothers, listen, God showed me a vision that I'm going to be a king, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And he was at first telling them about dreams that was not so grandiose, about him being a king and all that. He was telling them more dreams that was of the now. And every time he would relay those dreams would come to pass, right? And so he started to talk about the bigger dreams that he was having, and that, you know, God is going to do this and he's going to do that. And so his brothers got nervous. They actually got jealous, y'all. Okay, and what they did was they sold Joseph into slavery, honey. Okay, Joseph went on, and he was bought by a high priest, but he became the personal prophet to this high priest because of his dreams. And he eventually rose to become a high official and a king in Egypt. And he ultimately saved his family years later. The father thought he was dead. The brothers knew what they had done, so they were living with the guilt. Okay? And he actually saved his family from famine and untimely death just because of his favor and him eventually becoming the king that he told them that he would become. Okay? Now I'm going to move on to David. David was a young shepherd. Many of you guys probably heard the statement like, this is the only person that, you know, was after God's thine own heart, okay? And so he was a young shepherd, and he eventually becomes a renowned king. But even before any of that, he literally saved the Israelites from the Philistines. And so you guys know the story, or probably know partial story, about David and Goliath. So Goliath was literally a giant, like a huge person. And he was taunting the Israelites. They were in this war that they were losing. And David was this very young, brave man. And he came and he took him down, honey, with a slingshot, shot him dead, cut his head off, walked around with his head. But he became again another high official at the time under King Saul. He had saved the Israelites from a life of war and famine and all of this stuff. And eventually Saul, who was the king, who David helped save the nation from, right? Honey, he got so envious and jealous of that man, child, he started to try to kill him. He tried to kill him. And so the moral of the story, y'all, is these men, Joseph and David, became great men. It's very few people named by name in the Bible. I mean, it's a bunch of people, but not a whole bunch considering how big the book is, right? And so those betrayals, roommates, that you are experiencing, okay? Those detours that you are experiencing, those are just your preparation for the greatness that you are going to walk into. Do not be dismayed. Do not be discouraged. Understand that delay is a part of the process. You ain't getting it till you can learn how to appreciate it and learn how to treat it. Okay? Wonderful. All right, y'all said preach. All right, I'm gonna move on a little bit, but what I want you guys to understand is what looks like a detour is often your destiny route. You're on your route to your destined place. Don't give up now. Do not give up now. Yes, it's hard. No, it doesn't feel good. Yes, you're losing people that you've been there for. Of course, people are betraying you. But they're betraying you because they see the greatness in you that you don't even see in yourselves, roommates. I tell y'all all the time, I don't care how poised I seem. I don't care how comfortable I look. I am uncomfortable all the time when I come before you guys simply because I want to be used in a way that does not give me the glory, but it gives it all to God. And I want to be used in that capacity where it makes sense for you all to be able to get clear views on, though this has been a journey. It has not been an easy one. Nothing comes easy. Nothing that you want, nothing that you desire is going to come easy. If it comes easy, you better reevaluate it. You better reevaluate taking it in and doing whatever it is that, you know, that you're going to do with it. All right? And so I'm hearing, don't give up now. Don't give up, y'all. Do not. Okay? All right. We're going to shift a little bit more. So I want my roommates, please, to drop in the chat. What does it look like when pressure is producing purpose? Come on, roommates, give me an example of pressure producing purpose. I know that's kind of multi-layered, but we have to think about these type of things. You know, one of the most precious gems on this planet is formed under pressure. What gem is that? Come on, roommates. One of the most precious gems are formed under pressure. And so that gem, if you don't know it or you just haven't gotten to type it yet, is diamonds. Diamonds are formed under extreme heat and extreme pressure. Think about how beautiful diamonds are. They are formed in the dark, in the dirt, underground, wet and moist, pressure, right? In conditions that most things cannot flourish. Definitely most people. But most things, it seems so hard to develop in your fullness and in your wholeness when you are you constantly feel like you're under pressure, right? And so I want you guys to keep that tidbit, at the forefront of your mind and at the forefront of your heart. One of the most beautiful gems that all of us have at least an earring, okay? Diamonds are formed under pressure. All right, Sabrina then entered the chat. And she says, God is allowing you to talk to his people because you are right on with, you're right on with a lot of people. With a lot of the things that you say on your podcast. Thank you, Sabrina. You just never know who you might reach because God do speak through people. That's it. We messed it up ourselves, again, back early on, pre-Jesus Christ being born. God did used to come down and talk to the people and grant miracles and all of that stuff, but we messed it up. And so now that's why it's utterly important that we are used for his glory, because we the people, we are the answer, we are the guidance, we are the resource, we are the direction, right? In the physical form, right? That's exactly what we are. We are sent here to be helpmates to one another. And so that's why the Bible says that we ought to be good to our neighbors and be our brothers and sisters keepers, because we need one another. I haven't accomplished anything on this earth without receiving some assistance from someone in the flesh. Now don't get me wrong. I got that divine line. And I write my visions and I make it plain, but he shows me and he gives me visions. That's because I'm a believer. Rumor has it, the name, if you don't know and if you are just learning us as a platform, Ruma is spelled R-E-U-M-A-H. Ruma is a imperfect being, a concubine, an unmarried woman who had 4 children for Abraham's brother Nahor. And Ruma was only mentioned in Genesis 22:26. And just to be known as this man's baby mama. And it's crazy because when he sent me the vision first before he gave me the name. And when he sent me the vision, guys, it was a twofold vision, and it came by way of a dream, but the dream kept happening to me. And I'll share. So the dream went a little bit like this. It was always twofold. So part of it was I would be sitting in this audience and I would be listening to this panel of people. And in listening to the panel of people, they were people, kind of podcast, if you will. It was a panel of professionals. But the whole time I was like a keynote speaker or something, because I was being introduced up at a certain time. I got this dream more than once. And so I will be sitting in the audience, so I feel the audience because I'm of the audience. So I feel the temperature, I feel the claps, I'm a part of that. And then when I get introduced to the panel, now I'm looking at the audience. And now I am feeling and receiving them from a different perspective, because now I'm looking out at the audience. So now I can see facial expressions. I can see people clapping it up. I can see certain things. Yes, Phoenix. I can see certain things now from a different perspective, from a different lens. And it felt different. It like as an audience, as I was sitting in the audience, that felt one way. And as I was sitting, as I was there on the platform, it felt different. And what happened in that, guys, is he kept bringing that dream to me. And I have to tell you, I'm like, what does this dream mean? Why am I having this dream? Okay? Just repeatedly. And so eventually, guys, he brought the name to me. One day, in the mirror, brushing teeth, getting prepared for my work day, and he brought the name to me. And it was a full circle moment. And so I'm back to my original point. During your breaking season and during your season of delay, or even in your season of not a complete understanding, that then becomes your birthing season. That becomes your space where you are walking into your purpose based on that divine intervention. Okay? And so I want you guys to not lose track and not lose focus of what it is that God has for you because of what is happening for you. It's not happening to you. Okay? And so we don't want to run from what is shaping us. We do not want to run from those moments where opportunity is happening for us in the midst of the darkness, when we simply just don't understand how something is going to come to fruition. Why is it going to happen for me? Now, don't be pessimistic and speak against your stuff yourself. You have to understand that these things are happening for you, roommates. So don't be don't be too antagonistic. And either you're going to believe full-fledged and wholeheartedly that those things you want for yourself is truly and genuinely going to happen. Here I come, brother. Or you are going to assume the position and prepare yourself during your birthing season. Okay? And so I'm seeing a lot of yes, right? And people are saying that this is so true. And so I just want you guys to understand that that pressure that you feel, that pressure to be great, that pressure you feel to do something different outside of what else is going on around you, that pressure to dare to be different and to stand in being different and to receive, and not just receive, but to also hold near to you those things that you are learning as you are birthing these new ideas, as you are birthing and entering against all odds, right? And as you are learning and understanding things exactly for what they are. You are being shaped because you are made for this, okay? And so I don't want you guys to think that everything that happens for you is meant for evil. It is definitely not meant for evil. Give me 1 second, guys. I want you to think about this, and then I'll be right back. I got to get up for 1 second. Your story has strategy. What is your story? What is something that you are looking to attain that seems so difficult, so far-fetched? It doesn't seem attainable, but it's something that your heart desires. Come on, let's talk about it. Your story has strategy. What is that strategy for you? Okay? What is that strategy for you? I'll be right back. Think about that. Sorry, guys. I literally had to get the door. Phoenix didn't exit stage left on me, okay? So, I'm back. All right. So, think about those things that that you think like are meant for evil, but it's really for your own good. And that's something that really predicts the story and the strategy for our lives. There are things that I am experiencing right now, roommates, that I could have never fathomed to be happening for me. Remember we talked about things ain't happening to us, they're happening for us. I find myself in rooms full of people that are just people that I've admired from afar, situations where I'm right where I belong. I'm right where I belong. There's literally nothing that I couldn't and shouldn't have. If you put your heart to it, if you put your mind to it, roommates, those are going to be the things that you absolutely can and will attain. All right? And so let's keep going, and because we're going to be closing out in just a moment. One thing I want you all to think about is keep in tune with those things that we think are used against us are actually working for us, right? And so that includes things like heartbreak, rejection, failure you face that wasn't in vain. Just don't lose yourselves in those things that are designed to pull you down and take you out of character and make you lose your way and your light as you are on this journey to attain those things that are going to happen for your life, right? And so the work that you've done, the tools and the visions that you have for yourself, the wisdom and the resilience, all of those things are going to work magic for you. It's going to work in a way, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to have those very things that you thought you couldn't have or you thought was not attainable. And yet you are working and doing those things effortlessly. Okay? You are on, man, just doing big time stuff. And so I want to give us a couple of reflection questions. And you guys can drop in the chat anything that resonates with you, okay? So what in your life feels like a loss, but it ended up being a blessing? I know we talk all the time about a blessing in disguise. And I know we say that, but again, when you're going through, honey, sometimes you cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. That glimmer of hope is fading more and more each day. So what are some things that that was a loss for you, right? LOSS, but it actually ended up being a blessing, okay? I have Angel saying that right now I'm just closed-minded at the moment. I have to get over this hump and my vision will be open. Well, Angel, okay, listen, this moment right now, I'll tell you, elevation requires isolation and separation. When you are looking to birth greatness, when you are looking to attain things that seem so far and out of reach, that's when things start to feel like woe is me, and you start to have like these feelings of hopelessness, or ain't no way that this is going to happen. Do not become your own enemy. Do not become your own darkness. You have to endure. Enduring doesn't feel good. Think about working out. Most people do not enjoy working out. But for those people who really do enjoy working out, it's generally because they've built up their endurance, thus their tolerance to that environment. And so they learn the necessary breathing techniques. They learn the correct posture, and where they are not, injuring themselves or waking up where their bodies are so achy. And so they've mastered the craft, thus they've increased their endurance. So being closed-minded to change, don't do that to yourself. Be open-minded in that realm. But what you can do is put your blinders on and become tunneled vision to where you're trying to beeline to attain your goals. Okay? I tell people all the time, right now is my season of isolation. I know it without a doubt. I don't care how much you see me smile. I don't care how many pictures you see. I don't care what event you see me at. I am in a season of isolation. I know God has put me there, and I know I have to stay there to attain some of the things and to endure. Remember, we just talked about preparedness. If you are not prepared to sit in that room, you are not going to be given the instruments and the key to enter that room. You might be able to enter it, but will you be able to withstand and stay there? So when them doors close in your face, don't get stuck. Figure out what you need to do for because either another door is going to open, or you're going to build your own table and you're going to build your own situation, and it's going to be equally or better than the situation you were trying to enter into. Putting the blinders on, gaining that tunnel vision, helps us to block out the unnecessary noise, because we do have to focus. We do have to keep our mind and our hearts situated in a space where we're able to receive. Okay? And so I don't want us to get, I don't want you, Angel, to, to kind of get, I want you to get over that hump. And I want your vision, I want you to become more open-minded so your vision can come to fruition. All right? But those situationships, those relationships, some of those old friends, some of your family members, that old boo, that old bae, honey, that divorce you're going through, those losses are going to eventually end up setting you up for the biggest and the best blessings that you have ever been able to receive. Remember, it says that through all things, give God the glory, and be thankful, and show supplication, right? And God will grant us the desires of our own hearts, and he will pull down from heaven more blessings than our storehouse have room to receive. So it's going to happen for you. You just have to know the cues. You just have to be there, and you have to stay fast. You got to stick with it. You got to understand that there are so many demons and devils and enemies that is working against you and your dreams and your visions, that it is your responsibility. It's not the responsibility of anybody else. It is your responsibility to get to the space and to get into the situations that you are able to thrive and have your wildest dreams to come true. Very seldomly does it happen overnight. Some people are blessed like that to just get it to happen and get it to go. Okay? All right. We closing out, y'all. And so I just want you guys to keep in mind, what feels like it's working against you is absolutely not working against you at all. And before we go to closing segment, I want to give you guys this tidbit of things, okay? Sometimes the delay is your deliverance, okay? Don't get stuck in the delay. Big wheels keep on turning, baby, and you just keep on charting on the territories that make sense for you in your life, okay? So let's not forget that sometimes the delay is the deliverance from the situation and for what's to come, okay? The betrayal is the breakthrough. Baby, when they throw dirt on your name, when they make up shit out the blue, when they create scenarios in their head that they know you ain't even capable of even executing because your heart ain't built like that, you have to, at them very moments, bow out gracefully. Confuse the enemy. Okay? Bow gracefully. It's 2025. We chasing our dreams. We're watching our visions come to life. And so in this season of all of our lives, we are not asking for permission, but yet we're begging for forgiveness after we done everything we said we're going to do. Pardon me. I hope you can forgive me for making sure my shit came true. And you got to be that confident. You got to stand in it. Because if you don't believe in you and it, who's going to? You got to make them believe. And so the betrayal is the breakthrough. Oh, baby, is it? The closed door is the divine protection. That rejection, baby, is your protection. Don't get hung up on who's here and who ain't here. Because like my good old prophetess friend Dolores Bailey would tell you, and you probably have seen it in some of our comment sections, and it goes a little something like this. Everybody can't go, and everybody ain't made to stay. And so essentially what that means is that you're going to lose some people along the way. But you also going to gain your tribe. The last 2 years of my life, I have gained some of the most wonderful assets to my life that I ever have with trying so hard with others and minimally trying with those people who have been sent here as my helpmates. Somebody that's going to help you is going to help you regardless of you. And somebody that's going to betray you is going to betray you regardless of what you've been to them. Okay? All right. And so I want to remind us that Romans 8:28 tell us that all things work together for the good of those who love God. Even the stuff that hurts, even the disappointment, even the detours and the delays. And so my closing segment goes a little something like this. Just because it hurts doesn't mean it's harmful. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Just because it hurts, it doesn't mean that it's harmful. The breakup happened. Oh well, then look at your husband or your wife come along. The job, you lost it. Then you went and turned around, your next job was the highest paid job you ever had in your life. Working from home. Okay? Those wonderful perks that only God could impart and implant in our lives as we learn to endure and not give up on our faith in Him for our lives. Okay? Sometimes what works against you is simply the wind pushing you into your next victory. Okay? Trust the process, even the painful parts, roommates, because they're often doing the most powerful work behind the scenes. Roommates, I cannot be more joyful when I can sit here and reassure you that this too shall pass. We all deserve greatness. We all deserve peace of mind. We all deserve genuine love. And we all deserve to live a life free of betrayal and rejection eventually, as you are understanding your alignment, your purpose in life, and God's divine interventions. Roommates, we have come to a successful close yet again. I love you all so much. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you guys. Have a great night. Bye.